So speaking of making terrible movies, video game adaptations usually are that. However, Josh and I will always maintain that there's one or two exceptions. There might be a new big boy on campus when it comes to video game adaptations, as we have the first trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Animated movie from Illumination, the same people that did Despicable Me and the Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch and all Secret Life Pets and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, this trailer is perfection. Like, oh my gosh. It is the most perfect Mario Brothers trailer you can have if you put it on mute. Because I wanted to give Chris Pratt's Mario the benefit of the doubt. I was one of the few people going, hey, he's great in the Lego movie as Emmett. Let's give him a chance. He has voice acting experience. But God, does that not sound like Mario at all? It just sounds like Chris Pratt in a recording booth. Everyone else sounds great. I'm so amped for Jack Black's Bowser. He sounds perfect. And I think it's just because he's got slightly more voice acting experience than Chris Pratt, just because, and we put it in the jar, Kung Fu Panda has an entire trilogy, but also I feel like he also voiced Poe in the Kung Fu Panda TV series on Netflix as well, so he has more time in that world. His Bowser sounds so good. Also, I know it's just a little bit of it, but I love Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. That actually gets me. I do too. I'm so amped for this. But also, like, even before the trailer came out, we got this just gorgeous poster. And honestly, first ballot Hall of Famer when it comes to movie posters. This is, wow. I know some people are like, it's too busy. It's Mario. It's bright, vivid, and colorful, and you kind of immediately get a sense of what all the worlds are. There's fun Easter eggs. There's Toad. I don't need anything else.
What more do you want?
I don't need anything else because Toad is the best. My main for Double Dash is always Toad and Red Koopa. I don't know why, but that's my go-to.
Red Koopa? Really?
Toad and Red Koopa in the little bullet car for Double Dash. I don't know why. Dude, that's my combo.
I miss the crap out of Double Dash. Oh, what a game.
You know, the one-off features that all Mario Kart have.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but like it was a cool, like the first
the
bit,
Pengies!
The whole Bowser bit was fantastic. I love the idea of like Bowser's castle is just something that flies around and then it like locks down in, and like it's more of a ship than it is an actual castle. Jack Black is gonna kill it. I love that. When he finally gets the star or whatever, it would have been very, very easy for his voice acting to slip into a poism with who's gonna stop me? Like that's
skadoosh.
I can exactly. I could totally see him slipping and going into that direction, but he definitely intentionally put some certain inflections on it to make it different than Poe. Now, I am in the minority here, and I understand that. I am not a fan of it, but I do not outright hate Chris Pratt's Mario voice. I think they're definitely leaning more towards the Brooklyn Mario style voice than they are the Italian, which is a part of me that's like, yeah, like I feel like a straight up Italian might be a little like cringy. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but they're definitely going more with a Brooklyn style, and if that's the case, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
There's a really good counter argument that I've heard to the Chris Pratt voice is in almost all the Mario games, Mario is a silent protagonist for about 90% of the game. You do not hear him speak for long stretches of time because honestly, do you really want to hear Mario's voice? It's the same argument for why I never want a full-fledged Yoda movie. It's like, yeah, his dialect is really cool in small doses, but I don't know if I'd want 2 hours of Yoda speak. I don't know if I want 2 hours of Mario speak, and maybe that's something that they took into consideration for this, because more often than not, Mario has a couple lines, but since you're playing as him, it's a lot of just, yahoo! It's just little noises here and there.
Exactly.
Just, like, grunts like any other video game character. The dialogue is saved for other people like Toad, like Luigi, who we get a little bit of Luigi, I have complete faith in Charlie Day because It's Always Sunny in Mushroom Kingdom. That should be an episode right there because that just sounds too perfect.
Yeah,
And Danny
but
DeVito can voice Wario.
oh my gosh, if Wario and Waluigi don't appear in this movie, I'm gonna cry. That's my next. That's my god. Those
Waluigi
are
is
my
the most
guys.
underrated Mario character.
He really is. And to that credit of that point, you could say the same thing about Bowser. This is kind of the first time we're really hearing a lot of like Bowser dialogue that's not like a really grovelly grunts. And I don't, and so I think part of this is a lot of people say kind of being mad and just I think it's all just Pratt hate. I get it. I understand why you would hate Pratt. I understand that. However, you also don't get to be like I hate Pratt, so that ipso facto means that his Mario voice is terrible. Not necessarily. So like I as all things we do on this podcast, let's try to keep a critical eye on it, but like obviously understand that like we ourselves have biases on these certain situations. I think even with that, it's not a great voice, but it's not terrible. I'll take it. And to be fair, we really didn't hear all that much of it either. So I guess we'll see what happens when the actual full flip. Oh my gosh, we are bad today.
Full-fledged.
The full-fledged trailer comes out. Because we still need more Luigi. We need to see Peach. Peach is going to be interesting as well.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
I think there's gonna just I think we are not ready necessarily mentally as a fan base to see if like go down that list of characters, like that argument can go for all of them. We haven't really heard these people actually talk, so it's gonna be interesting to hear actual dialogue from them, from these characters, from these actors. So I'm curious as to your thoughts, and because you and I have this kind of conversation all the time. I've seen a lot of people say that the guy that has always voiced Mario should have been the pick to voice him in this film. Now, I know you and I are very much of like the kind of people to be like in Solo, people were super upset that they didn't pick that really good Harrison Ford impersonator to be Solo. That doesn't necessarily
In
mean that he can
hindsight, they
act.
should have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. How about hindsight's 2020? In
Ah!
this scenario,
Can we just retire that phrase now? Because
no,
hindsight was 2020 and 2020 sucked.
But in this scenario, I also I as much as I love the dude and his story's amazing and that he's has such a dedication to this character, I don't know if I go with that either because, like you said, he's just made noises, kind of. So it might come off as kind of cringe or almost like I don't want to say racist because that's not the term, but like it just feels weird to hear somebody act like they're Italian.
Again, Josh and I are always in favor of just use the voice actor. I'm not a big fan of celebrity voice castings unless it's something like the Lego Movie where Chris Pratt was playing a completely new character with Emmett, or Jack Black with Poe, or anybody from How to Train Your Dragon for Josh, because those are completely original stories. But if there's source materials, a la Sonic the Hedgehog 2, they got the actual voice actress that plays Tails to voice Tails, and that really, really worked. Voice actors need to be recognized as actual actors. So I'm of two minds of maybe bringing him back, but at the same time, we have not seen this movie yet. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt of, in the context of this movie, maybe the voice that they're going for fits better than what the game Mario is. Like, what's the broader context here? I will say, though, if you have flashbacks to Baby Mario, I'm gonna want that thing to die, because Baby Mario is just the worst thing to exist in Mario canon. There was plenty of times that I was playing Yoshi's Island, and I just let that sucker float away. I was tired of that.
I don't even care about my lives. Go ahead and die.
I checked. So far, we don't have any confirmation of Yoshi or Princess Daisy casting, and y'all, For Heather's sake, you better have Yoshi in this movie or heads will roll because she is a hardcore Yoshi fan because, Yoshi is just the best. Or, don't
He
put Yoshi
is.
in this movie and make it a whole Yoshi's Island spin-off movie with an island of Yoshi's a multicolored and it's a prequel to this
I
movie.
actually,
And it's a prequel
oh
to
my
this
gosh,
movie. I
I actually
solved it.
really like that idea. Hold on, hold on. Oh my gosh. And it's a prequel to set up the battle that will be Mario and Luigi against Wario and Waluigi. Like, come on. That's just, oh, that writes
And their
itself. There's
next
a
door
lot of
neighbors
fun.
are a whole bunch of monkeys, the Donkey
Oh my
Kongs.
goodness. There's so much in this world that is super exciting to kind of finally tap into story wise that I guess I'm not getting hung up on voices just maybe a little bit different from somebody who I feel is not that great of a person. But like, I'm excited for the film regardless.